I'm sitting down with Luke from VIP Gateway to chat about car leasing. Honestly, I don't know much about car leasing, so I'm going to ask him some frequently asked questions to get the basics from an expert. How can I determine if car leasing is the right option for me, and what are the main benefits of car leasing?
A car's a depreciating asset. If we look at a car, for example, it depreciates. You get a new car, it drops in value. So the best way to obtain the new car is to lease it, because you set your fixed cost over the period, you know what it is, and you're changing the car every 2 to 3 years. The depreciation is literally out of the window. I've seen people finance cars, and then 2-3 years down the line, they're in what's called negative equity. And you sat there thinking, well, why do I need to pay 3-4 grand to get out of this car? Because you financed it. I'm not saying financing a car is the wrong way. So when you lease that depreciating asset, you're obtaining the asset in the best possible way and the lowest possible cost. That's why leasing's the best. It doesn't have to be a car. Lease anything. It's the best way to move forward and obtain things at the lowest cost.
What protections do I have if anything goes wrong with the car during the lease period?
Well, brand new cars have a warranty, so it's straightforward. 3-year warranty, 3-year lease. You get your full manufacturer's warranty with a brand new car right from the get-go. So it's straightforward. You know, you're covered under that warranty. You don't need to worry about all the mechanical issues and a used car that's 5 years old out of its warranty. That's all out the window. You lease the car within the manufacturer's warranty, easy, you're covered.
What type of cars offer the best leasing deals, and are there any factors that I need to consider?
Depends on your personal preference. Like, you know, somebody's out there leasing a family car. There's a business out there leasing 30 cars because they need them for business purposes, the pool cars. There's a first-time driver leasing the first car. There's somebody leasing a sports car that they want for weekends. There's somebody leasing a big Porsche Cayenne or something because they want a big premium car. Somebody's leasing a Hyundai Tucson. There's a massive selection. So I'd say there's always a car for somebody's purpose. Do you know what I mean? So whether it's a business, it's a personal customer, whether tax benefits are important to them, whether the drive is important to them, something's important to you, but there's a lease there ready to take care of your personal preference. Do you know what I mean?
Can I purchase the car at the end of the term if I decided I wanted to keep it?
No, that you can't buy the car at the end. That's where you look at a finance agreement, but the idea is with a lease that every 2 to 3 years you're getting a brand new car. You're keeping yourself out of that depreciation, you're keeping yourself in the warranty. Every 2 to 3 years you get that brand new car, it just keeps coming. So no, you can't buy the car at the end, the car goes back, you get a new one delivered, you're in that cycle.
If I lease a car for 3 years and I wanted to lease the same car for another 3 years, would I get the same deal?
Great question. It actually depends on the time. We see this often. It's not always the case, being fully transparent. The reason being is offers change and deals change. Depends on what's being bought at that moment in time, right? In most circumstances, it's possible, but we just don't know if it's going to be the same deal. Sometimes it might be a better deal. Sometimes the deal might be more expensive. But if you choose more of the range rather than the car, what I mean by that is if you're driving around in an SUV and you think, well, I want the same one again, if that one's not available, there's going to be an equivalent or similar SUV that works. And that's what benefit with leasing. You get to try different cars. If you want the same car every time, cool, you know, we can do that. But it really depends on what's available at that time.
So will my monthly payments change if I decide to lease the same car for an additional term?
In most cases, no. You could, in 3 years' time, you've had a car and you say, I want that car again. You're fine. What we find is we don't know if prices are going to change from the manufacturer, because we're not building the cars, you know, we're not the factory building the cars. So if the manufacturer increases the price, yes, the car's going to go up. But in some cases, we see cars drop. So it depends on what's going to happen. It's impossible to predict in 3 years. What we wouldn't say to somebody is you can have this car and you can have it again in 3 years for the same price. Impossible. We don't know what's going to happen. I remember COVID, and literally we had all these customers' renewals ready, good to go. And after COVID, all the prices went through the roof. Then they dropped again, and they was up and down. So it's really impossible to say. What I would say is don't worry, because within the range of car that you've got, there's going to be something equivalent, something that works. It's going to take the box of equivalent to what you've already got. Ideally, we want to keep you in a similar car. If you want to be in a car every 2 to 3 years, it's fine. But Worst case, it'll be something equivalent. Best case, it'll be the same. But then your circumstances might change. Maybe you're using an SUV, maybe you want a sports car now. Maybe you're using a sports car, maybe you want something completely different, a hatchback, I don't know. But look, there's always gonna be a new car every 2 to 3 years. That's the benefit, that's the joy, the cycle, do you know what I mean?